सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय. Yes, we are having new subscribers. I welcome each one of you, and yeah, let's study together. It's an interesting topic. It's something to do like a golden path. We are all on a golden path, and it's soon going to take us not only to a beautiful destination, but it's also every step is going to be a beautiful destination by itself at every step. Today, we are just going to introduce another little yoga. Before we start speaking about pranayama, which is the fourth ang of Ashtanga Yoga, I would like to introduce YOGATATTVA.UPANISHAD. Now, there is a basic very reason when I had initially gone to my Guru's ashram. It was sometime in 1979. And of course, I had known her much earlier. And then when I went to her, I used to practice a lot of meditation. And then when I went to her, she says, here's a girl who's trying to fly in spiritual world, but she's got only two wings. One is meditation and the other is devotion. But these are not enough. You need a tail fin, or whatever you call it, the tail part of it, which is of knowledge. So, or rather, I think it was the other way. Devotion was one of the tail part of it, and the one wing was yoga, that was meditation. And the other wing, she said, is missing, which is Jnana, that is Atma Jnana. It was my Gurudev who put me to studies. And I'm glad today because, yes, they are required, both of them are required. Now, where do you get this knowledge from? It is Atma Jnana, that is the knowledge which dwells in self. Then how does it manifest? Does it come through somebody else teaching you, or does it come through books? So, no, not actually. The knowledge we are talking about is, it emerges from within. When? When does it emerge? When your mind is pure, motive behind every act, every word is pure, every thought, the motive is pure. The moment your motive is pure, your act is pure, your mind is pure, your heart is pure, your intellect is pure, then what emerges from it is intelligence or Atma Jnana. Atma Jnana. What you gain from outside is information. But what clicks from within and what emerges from within is Atma Jnana. It gets born from within. My Gurudev used to give very lovely sort of comparative similes. She used to say, like how a well, it has the water emerging from within, whereas a tank, a septic tank or a tank on the building, that needs to be filled from outside. The fragrance in a flower emerges from within, whereas we need to spray some perfume on us to smell fresh. So, similarly, knowledge has to emerge. It has to emerge from within, and that is called Atma Jnana. And for it to emerge, you need a very pure mind, intellect, body, that is action, vani, speech, and motive behind it. So, here Yoga Upanishad, YOGATATTVA.UPANISHAD gives us a new dimension. It just tells us, well, just wait. Yoga alone, that is breathing techniques and asana and very expert in every yogasana and all, is not going to be enough. We have already seen which were the 8 asana. And now we need to also simultaneously try to understand that along with yoga, we need something which is known as Atmadnyan. And Atmadnyan has to emerge from within. Now, for him to YOGA.TATTVA.UPANISHAD, it suggests same, yam, niyam and all, but it has been very selective, and it has made it easier for us. It has made it easier for us. It has just selected one from each out of 10. Shandilya Upanishad, the 10 aspects of yam were given. Whereas in Yoga.TATTVA Upanishad, he has selected only one, and it was, what was it? Moderate eating. It's not easy, but at least out of 10, we need to practice one, and that is moderate eating. At least try and do it a little before you're practicing of yoga. At least try and see that you are light on your stomach when you are practicing yoga. The other day, one person asked me that we would like to minimize our emotional indulgence, for which I had suggested Siddhasan. It is supposed to give you the very control on your own desires. These are human elements. Instead of giving much attention to it, of course, normally we all tend to realize that this far and no further. So that much control also, if one can develop, we can try and my Gurudev used to suggest one more thing. She used to say, consider, if you are practicing yoga, try and consider not a day of 24 hours. You have a day of 48 hours. So if we normally have, say, 3 meals in 24 hours, now we have to have 3 meals in 48 hours. So consider those 48 hours as one day and one night, of course. So I would say that regarding any sort of an indulgence, you can consider 2 days as one and try and restore. There's another very easier way of controlling self. Like I would try and control moderate eating. For moderate eating, I'm giving this example. Select any 2 to 3 days in a week and declare a fast for yourself. That these are the 3 days I shall not eat cooked food, or I shall try and only live on fruits. If it is 3 days is too much, try with 1 day. So 1 day you can start. The moment you start becoming, you start seeing the advantages, or because you have made a sort of a sankalpa, that is a willful decision, you are reminded of it all the time. You get reminded of it all the time. So it's easier. Either you look upon 2 days as 1 day, or you can select, say, Monday and Thursday and Saturday, or Monday, Thursday, 2 days. I shall not indulge into extra any indulgence which is desire related. So something like that we can start with. And because some of these, even to have food is a very natural instinct. It cannot you cannot overcome this very easily. Just whatever you do, you try and do it with right thought behind it. I think that should be a good start. So Yoga.TATTVA Upanishad suggests yam. In yam, out of 10, it suggests one thing, which is moderate eating. And I think it is good. Then in niyam, it has also again selected only one, and that is non-injury to others. I think this is very easy. This is not so difficult for us to practice. You try not to hurt anyone. intentionally, unintentionally. Be careful that you don't hurt somebody verbally or in action, in deed, in thought too. You have to be careful. All right. Then for asan, out of the 8 which we have discussed in Shandilya Upanishad, 4 only are selected here by YOGATATTVA.UPANISHAD. They are Siddhasan, Padmasan, Simhasan and Bhadrasan. Again I said Siddhasan is very good to keep your desires under control. So it's a one, of course I would like to give myself Swastikasan, because at my age that is more comfortable for me. I'm okay, even with Siddhasan I'm okay, but may not be able to sit for long on that. However, now, initially, what are the obstacles which come in the way of practicing yoga? These are the obstacles we need to be careful about. We have to know them so that we can genuinely avoid getting caught into those. What are the obstacles which come in the path of a yogi? First is laziness. Oh, you tell me. Every time you go and have a look at a beautiful, comfortable lounge, a sofa, or you see a very beautiful bed and with all soft pillows and all, you really want to lie down. Even if it's while reading, you want to lie down. Well, whatever it is, we have to be very careful and prompt. Again, as I said, divide your days, the hours into a disciplined program. You can say from 3 to 6, all right, I'll do my work. 6 to 9, take a break. 9 to 12, take another session. 12 to 3, you take your break. Again, 3 to 6, you can do one. And then, of course, you can have the rest of the day to yourself. So, something like that. If you make a plan, all of us have a normal plan. Even the people who go for work, they go from 9 to 5 they work, or 10 to 6 they work, whatever it is. So consider this as your job. If you are going to study, consider that this is your classroom, your school, whatever you want to look at which makes you comfortable, and stay put in that, so that it helps you. Gradually you'll develop. Now, second one is idle talk. The moment we start practicing, oh, there's so much to share. My God, we want to talk and talk, and the subject philosophy itself is so makes you feel like the most intelligent person in the world. So you want to keep on telling everybody. My Gurudev used to say, if two friends meet, and one is going for, say, badminton, and the other is going for a yoga class, you must, the one with the badminton will say, well, I'm going for my badminton. And the other one will say, I'm going for my yoga classes. So, and so the person who's going for sports starts feeling, am I wasting time? So that name itself, the philosophy, yoga, this gives you a sort of a very superior complex. Well, let that not disturb you. Because every act is important, is needed. However, so you have to remember, you have to minimize idle talk about the subject you are into. You decide. So every time you are free, you want to talk about it. Yes, true, but if it is only heard by the people who need to hear. So we have to be careful, and otherwise also in life, avoid idle talk. Because sometimes you have nothing to do. I mean, what is the neighbor doing? How's the neighbor progressing? And what sort of job he has? He's without a job. All these are like curiosity, uncalled for curiosity, and trying to pass it on as like gossip. I think I've got the correct word. So avoid gossip. That is one discipline with the practitioners of yoga should try and practice. Then third is wrong association. Yes, this is again another very important. I would rather say, instead of wrong association, get into right company who are practicing yoga and all, get in company with them. So gradually, it's like a chain cook. You have somebody to hold your hand and run. So whether even if you're tired, that running continues. So even being with a guru or in a satsang of a guru, this process continues more easily. So third is, instead of avoiding wrong association, I think I would say hold on to the right association. So be a part and parcel of some sort of a spiritual institute where you can sort of go and spend 2 days. Doesn't matter. Just spend 1 or 2 days a month, or 3 days a month, or just have 1 day a week, and uh, just get back on the tracks. That's all. And then let your nature lead you again. Then fourth is acquisition of mantras. Now, we don't need too many things. If you want to unreveal the ultimate truth, just one mastering of any one mantra, or belief in one mantra, or belief in one deity, one guru, and is enough. Like suppose you go to the engineering college, and then you hear your friend is a doctor. Now you want to again join medicine. Now, once you complete your medicine, then somebody comes and very highly places himself as an architect, and suddenly you feel that, no, I want to be an architect too. Now then you start going from one educational institute to the other. So we all don't need to go from one siddha to the other, or one mantra to the other, or have too many things. They are all one and the same. What is finally required? That you stand on your own and utilize that information you have gained, whether it is medicine, engineering, or anything, and apply it so that your life becomes beautiful. So, if you have faith in any particular one guru, I think that is enough. That should be enough. Well, luckily for me, I have got focused on my Gurudev Umanand. Though I did meet earlier, I did meet Muktanand Baba, another great Siddha, and before that I met Goroni Maharaj, another very loving Siddha. But at that time, my mind probably was not yet attuned to the true concepts of yoga, enlightenment, or whatever it is. So by the time I also attained a little maturity in that, because finally you have to relate with the Guru. So you need a little bit of maturity to respond to Guru's offer. Whatever Guru gives you, you should be able to receive it well. And then, of course, the fifth one is a play with the material, metals, and mirage, like material world. You are into, of course, it's a world of, now since I'm a woman, I don't want to say women, wine, and things like that. But one has to be careful that very easily one tends to get caught in a mirage. So we've got to get a little more focused, and even Rishi Munis, they have their family life established, because duties and rights, they can go hand in hand, and that does not obstruct, because finally you have to some of these human tendencies, they are born, you are born with it. You don't have to be very stiff about these needs. You just need to not overindulge. That's about all, whether it's food or whether it's luxury, whatever it is. These are the 5 that need to be crossed now. How do you cross it? How do you cross it? You cross it with virtues. It's a very beautiful YOGATATTVA.UPANISHAD also has something very nice to tell. So you have to cross it with virtues here. Now, one very nice, easier way has been told that try and see if you can create an atmosphere um, uh, where you can practice yoga more comfortably. What could be the atmosphere? You should have a very pious, say, let's say if it's a room, let's make it easy for ourselves. Say it's your own room, which you have a single small room for yourself or whatever it is. See that there is some mild sort of a mild light within, a little fragrance stick, and a pure asan, and then uh, and say some beautiful deities, either picture, a photograph, or a guru's photograph, and install it there. And very beautifully, I will be reading out a few couplets from Gnandev's Gnaneshwari. Uh, it is also there available on Kindle, which is written by me, translated in English, and even in Marathi. It is available for people who wish to understand. But I would like to read some lines from it. Let's see when I get a little more time. So now you have to beautify your monastery. That is, you beautify your area where you are going to sit and meditate. You must have a small entrance. Don't have it a huge opening like you go into it. And it should be, of course, free from all these insects. Today, mosquitoes, that is the worst problem. Mosquitoes and cockroaches. So, and flies, of course, flies. Another disturbing element when you're meditating, you will start hearing, you almost will slap yourself because of that. So we have to keep the room clean. Then it should be well swept and well kept clean, and there should be some fragrant resins which are burnt. Now here you have, again, there is another suggestion which is made here in YOGATATTVA.UPANISHAD, which is to have a proper seat which is neither too high nor too low. And it is sort of you be seated on some deer skin. Of course, today it will not be allowed. It's against the law of kindness. It is treated as, considered as unkindness to animals and all. So we will just use grass, which is like kusha, they call it kusha. So you have and even if you take a rough blanket, which is black, which is normally wrapped around by the farmers when they go, it is considered as the best for meditation. Then you salute your deity, and now you have to turn to pranayam. Pranayam, I'm going to obviously take it in the next session. But before that, I'm going to read a few lines from Gnaneshwari once again. Of course, written by me, translated by me into English poetry form. I don't want to boast, but I want to take the a little sweet credit for myself, that I'm the first lady to have done it in 700 years, to have translated the entire Gnaneshwari, which is Marathi Prakrit, into English poetry form. So first we'll try and see how Gnandev talks about selecting the place. So he says, yes, select a place which will be of satisfaction and you will not want to leave, where dispassion will increase twice on merely seeing it. Once the seeker or saint sits there, satisfaction will be complete and mind will feel fresh again with a new zest within. Spiritual study will start on its own and garland the experience had. Such importance a good place keeps always on spiritual path. Even if you come across such a place, maybe it is somebody else's ashram room, even if you come across such a place, you want to practice penance there. And even a wicked or an atheist will develop same feelings. While gradually passing by, if one accidentally comes across this place, even if he is a man of worldliness, he forgets to leave from there. Such place it is which makes a stay the non-willing, and the wanderer is made stable with dispassion awakened in him. Let me give up the kingdom and stay here forever, feels even a man of world when he sees a place of such. The place feels best and pure, too along with it, one almost sees here the supreme residing. One more requirement is the seeker earlier should have lived here, but it must not be polluted by passing visitors. Where, like elixir, sweetened are the roots of thick trees, which always bear sweet fruits. Of course, this is more into the open arena, but we are talking of the homes because normally this is easier. But those who go into farmhouses or places for holidays, they can select something like this. Water there is at every step, but pure it is during rains, with special springs around, easily traceable. Here the heat of the sun is also gentle and warm. Winds too blow to and fro, very gently and soft. The place should be silent and not crowded by animal world, plus should not have around it the parrots and the bumblebees. Some swans which live near water too, to 4 cranes too, and occasionally a nightingale may visit if wants to. May not be forever, but as a visitor to a few peacocks, I would not say no. But it is essential, O Pandava, to find such a place. There must be a monastery, not very visible, or at least a Shivalaya nearby. Of the two, the one that is liked, such one place is needed, and mostly one must in solitude here should quietly be seated. Thus, check if the place is so, and see if the mind is willing to stay, and only if it does, then lay your asan there. See how a place is important. I will tell you a short story and we'll stop here today. The story is once sage Narad was passing by from the woods, and he saw 2 people sitting under 2 different trees, and they were into meditation and practice of spiritual sadhana. So he dropped in and he says, well, I've just come here to see how's your progress. So both of them suddenly rushed. They knew Sage Narada, and they rushed and they said, sir, you must be surely going to see Lord Vishnu. So he says, yes, that's my daily routine. So he says, well, then if you're going there, will you please ask a question on behalf of us? So he says, what question? So he says, we want to know when we shall get his darshan. That is, when will we be able to see Lord Vishnu? So Narada says, okay, I shall definitely communicate your message. And after some time, Narada returns. So both of them are anxious to know. So he goes to one and he says, well, he says, you're sitting under a beautiful tree. Now remember, once this tree, these leaves fall away, then the new leaves will come. Then the new fruits will come. And then with the fruits, the seeds will come. And those seeds will again create new fruits. And more seeds, the leaves will come. At that time, Lord Vishnu said he will come. So the man looked at Narada and he looked at himself and he says, my God, this could be another 10, 15 years. And he wrapped up his little whatever yoga mat he must be having there. And he said, Sage Narada, thanks for warning me. Now there's no point my sitting here. He leaves. Now then he goes to the other one and he says, well, when am I supposed to see Lord Vishnu? He repeats the same thing. He says, when these leaves will fall, and the new leaves will come, and when they will fall, and then again the new leaves will come, and they too will fall, and the new leaves will come, and then they will bear fruits. After that, when those fruits fall and new fruits come, Lord Vishnu will come. What do you think this man did? He placed his asan more carefully. He placed it in a better way, as if now he decided, now, well, I have a chance to see Lord. Friends, this journey is beautiful. This journey is beautiful. I have a lot to share more. Next time we shall talk about only 3 pranayam. Only 3. Actually, it's just one exercise. It is enough to make you turn into God of love, who's considered to be Lord Vishnu. So, friends, this is Swami Radhikanand. Don't fail to see my atmarupa.in, and yes, please help us to have more subscribers. Mm, I mean, that's a sweet, of course, it might be a just condition put across by the YouTube people. All said and done, it will help us to spread the message, knowledge and peace and bliss. Well, this is Swami Radhikanand from Pune. Thank you.